So today I'm working on a style, and you're going to see the picture right at the right corner or the left corner of this video. And this is my pattern paper already folded into two, as you can see. And then the half length for this person is 18 inches. So I'm going to be using that half length because it's got a joining at the waist, although it's kind of a corset dress, and then with a basque, the one that has this kind of V shape in front. So, but firstly, we want to just cut out from our half length, which is shoulder to the client half length, which is 18. And then I'll go ahead and do that while my pattern paper is still on fold. And then I'll go ahead. The basic measurements you'll be needing for this: your shoulder to shoulder, your round the waist, round the bust, round on the bust, shoulder to nipple, shoulder to underbust, shoulder to your nipple point. That's the waist again. And then yeah, the round armhole, and there's a calculation for that as well. If you're taking it on your client or you want to take it on yourself, there's another measurement, a calculation, a way to get your round armhole. And then what else do I need to talk about? The nipple to nipple measurement. So guys, then for the old dress, we needed the length, we needed the hip circumference, and also yes, and shoulder to nail. That's also important depending on the style you're making. So let's dive in, guys. Like I said, you want to firstly, once you fold your paper into two, you want to make sure you check if the width is enough for what you need it for. For the biggest part of this person measurement, which is we are drafting from shoulder to the waist. So the biggest part between our bust and our waist is our bust. Our waist is just 32, while our bust is 36, 37, thereabout. So following by that bust measurement, 1/4 of 36 will give me 18 divided by 9, of which I have 12 inches. 12, and then is it 1/4 here? Yes, so this is perfect. Even if I need some allowances, I still have it. So I'll go ahead now quickly and then measure from my shoulder to the waist. That's what I'll be cutting out here. So we're cutting it, the shoulder to waist separate, then after which we grab the skirt pattern. So this is what I have here, and I'll go ahead now and cut it out, guys. Go ahead and cut it out like this. And that is what I have done. So I need to be sure it's equal. Yeah, so all the next thing you'll be doing is to open out your pattern this way, and this way with the line that is gotten here, the folded line, like let's put it that way. So you're going to roll it out. That will be separating the back from the front. And then I'm going to go ahead to label it center front. This is folded here, center front, and here as the CB, center back. So now we want to dive into putting in a measurement for the clients. Firstly, we're going to draft the basic half body block now before we start to alter it into whatever we want to make. And this is the way it's going to go. Our back measurement, the person's back measurement, which is shoulder to shoulder, is 617. Half of it will be 8.5. So I'm going to go ahead and insert that here, half of the shoulder measurement here. And then after which I'll take it a little bit down. Yeah, although it's going to go all the way to the chest line, but let's just take it down. Then this way, and I'm going to draw my line, a very faint line, a very faint one here, a faint line here. Can you see that? So the next thing I want to do is I'll still do the same thing for the back, but let me just grab the front, then I'll go back to the back. So the basic standard for the neck is normally you divide your bust by 3 to get whatever you want to use, but then I'll still be altering this one. But the basic normal measurement we use is 3 by 3. You cannot also use your bust measurement divided by 3 to get that. Whatever it gives you, just put as the width and the depth of the neckline. Yeah, so I'll go ahead now and do this. I'm still going to alter it. Like I said, this is not the neckline that I want. Yeah, and then the shoulder slant for the back is 1.5. I'm going to go ahead now and do this. Then you connect it this way. Can you see that? Then after which I'll still go to the back as well. Okay, maybe we should just do the back too. Let's do the same thing for the back. After of our shoulder measurement, which is shoulder to shoulder, is 8.5 like we did for the front. Then I'll take it a little bit down, 8.5. Then draw a kind of a very faint line, because that's not the actual one. I'm still going to make it bold. Then you want to put your, for the neckline, it's going to be 3, the same thing we use for the width, 3, but the depth is going to be 1 inch. Remember, and mind you, you're still going to alter it to the kind of neck you want. So this is just a standard, like a basic. Yeah. So I'll go ahead now and connect this together, as you can see. So for the shoulder slants here, it's going to be 1 inch for the back. Remember, we use 1.5 for the front. So this will be 1 inch. And we have that. The next thing we want to determine is our chest line. How do we determine our chest line? If you have taken your round armor of your client, you want to just divide it into 2. But then there's another better method. Should I say better or another method? Let me not say better. It's dividing your bust divided by 6 plus 1. Yeah, for people with a very not too big, like, arm. But in most cases, just to be on the safer side, you want to use 1.5 because some people has this big arm, you understand. So if I'm to do that, bust divided by 6, the bust of the client is 36.5, but I'll go by 36, don't worry. Divided by 6, which will be 6 plus 1.5. You get what I'm saying now? But another thing I want to mention is, for this particular style that you see, I'm not gonna be using, normally I will use 1.5 if it's gonna be one that will have a sleeve that I'm gonna be joining the sleeve to. But for this particular dress is a sleeveless dress, so I don't need too much revealing on the arm side. So I'll just go by 1 inch. So I'll come down by 7 inch, like I said. Can you see by 6 plus 1? That's what I'm using for this. Sometimes if you see me draft, and you will see me use 1.5, which is fine. So I don't want it to be too broad, like the hammer to be too revealing. So that's a 6. So everything all together from the shoulder to the down, that part should be 7.5, because we came down by 1.5 initially plus 6, which will be 7.5. So I'm going to be taking that all the way around. 7.5. Did I say 6? Sorry, I said 6 plus 1, 7. Yeah, it's supposed to be 7. Sorry about that. So the total will be 7 plus 1.5 that we came down for the shoulder slant is 8.5. I was looking at it. Yeah, 8.5. Then we root this one all the way down as our chest line. All the way as our chest line for both front and back. 8.5. Can you see that? 8.5 here. Then that will serve as our chest line. That will serve as our chest line. That is it, guys. Can you see that for both front and back? Then the next thing we want to do is to get our, the coming in here, the normal way we used to shaping the side. But I'm still gonna do that. For now, I'm gonna leave that and go to put other lines, vertical lines measurement. Our shoulder to our nipple is 10.5. 10.5. I will do that here. This applies to just the front only, and for the underbust it's going to be 14 inches. So 10.5 here, 10.5. This is just for the front, 14 inches. Then we roll it. Can you see that, guys? So we're going to label it, each of those lines. This is for the chest line. This is for the nipple point, that's bust point, and this is for the under bust, and this will be our waist. So that is it, guys. The next thing we want to do now is, remember your back length is always shorter than the front length. Standard that I use is 2. Even without measuring it on anyone, I use 2 as a difference, and it has been working perfectly. And then why do we make use of that is because of the, here we're still going to be taking that 2. The difference is going to come here as our bust that. As you go, you get to understand what I mean by that. So I will take away 2 inches from the back measurement. Remember, your back and the front legs needs to be different because of our bust. You know, we all have breast, and yeah, so the back, there has to be differences. You want to take that on yourself or your client. Some used to be 1, some used to be 2, depending, it varies, but standard is always 2 inches. So we're going to be cutting this part out, and that is what we have now. The next thing we want to do is to put our dart legs on both area and then shaping our armor. For the dart one, our nipple to nipple is 7 inches, so I'm going to go like this on the bust point. Nipple to nipple is 7, so half of it, because this is assumed to be on a fold, half of it is 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. And you see that. Then the next thing is to just read the line, connect the lines together, and then on the waistline we want to use our that's intake. For me, I love using 0.75, and that's what I'm going to use. You can decide to use 0.5, but I love using my 0.75 for everyone. Yeah, so that is it. Then we'll connect it to the bust point this way. Can you see that? Connect it to the connect it to the bust point, connect it to the bust point, as you can see, connect to the bust point. And the next thing is, before we do the back on, after doing that, okay, let's go to the back, then we'll come back here. For the back as well, you want to come in by the same 3.5, half of the nipple to nipple, half of the nipple to nipple, draw the line. Then from the chest line, you want to come down by 1 inch. Then you see that, come down by 1 inch, and then after which you want to put in your dart intake. I'm using 0.75 from this line. 0.75 is here. From here, 0.75 is here. Then I'll connect it. I'm just going to go ahead and connect A. Can you see that? Connect it this way, and that's for our dart that we've done. One more thing we need to do now is our back tightening. I don't want us to forget that. It's very important. This is the center back. It's important to do your back tightening, because most of us, if you look at your back at the mid center, you notice there's kind of a deep hole, like it goes in there. If you don't do the back tightening, there's going to be like folding around that part, and your back, the dress or the outfit at the back will not relax well. So you want to make sure you take your dart intake, which will be 0. To me, I love using 0.75. You can use 0.5. Actually, you can use 0.75, even up to 1. That depends on you. That's your choice. So I'm going to be using 0.75. Then I'll connect it all the way to the neckline, because I want it to really like tighten to take out any form of folding. This has been working for me, and it's just perfect. So that will be cut out. So the next thing we want to do after this is, we want to go ahead now and impute half of our bust measurement, one quarter of the waist, and then we do the same thing for the back. For the bust measurement is 36.5. 36.5. Let's assume it's 36. I'm still going to do that. So that will be 18 into 2, and into 4 will be 9. So 9, I'm going to be using 9 points. 9 1/4. Yes, everything we round up to be 37, which is still fine, but the actual measurement is 36.5, so that is also still fine. If I use 9, it's just going to round up to 36, but I don't want it to be a short of it off, so I need to go by 9 1/4. So I'll do that here. 18 divided by is 9. Yeah, I'm going to do 9 here, 9 1/4 here. And then on this part of the waist, our waist is 32 divided by 4. That will be 8 inches. Half is 16. half of 16 is 8. So 8 inches here. Can you see what I'm doing? Then remember your dart intake of 1.5. I will add that as well. If we don't add it, it's going to be short. Yeah. So once we add it, we're just going to connect it together with our ruler. Can you see that? Never mind the way the shape is. The way the shape is like that because of the dart intake. By the time we take it, we remove it, it's going to move back in. And that is it for that one. Then the next thing to do is to do shaping at the armhole. Normally I love going up by 3 inches. Once I go up by 3 inches, I want to come in by 0.5 like this. Come in by 0.5, then go ahead and connect it this way. After which you want to draw, use your ruler to get the shape here. Yeah, this is really so close, like, yeah. Can you see that? This is not a kind of a very big, she doesn't have that big bust. Yeah, so that is the way it is. Can you see that? That is it, guys. So that is what we need here, as you can see. So we quickly go to the back and do the same thing. 1/4 of the bust measurement, which we did made use of, and that must start from after the back tightening line. 9.14, that's 1/4 here, and the waist as well, 8 inches. That's 32 for the total waist, and then 1/4 of it is 8 plus 1.5 for the dart intake. So we want to do that here. This shape is like this because of the back tightening, and you remember the darts and the back tightening, so which is fine. So then the next thing we want to do is for the back armhole, you just want to divide what you have here from here to here into 2. I'll just fold it this way to make it easy for me to locate. Then go in by 0.5, go in by 0.5, connect it like this. Can you see that? And then do this, and that is it, guys. That's for the back. So we've gotten that for the back. This is a basic half body blocks now, basic one. But then the difference we have here, we just need to put it here on the bust line. We'll bring it to the side 2 inches, and then you want to connect it this way. Any bust bigger than 37, 38, you can decide to go in by 1 inch to give it fullness, or better still, you can also just close it down there. It will still be okay. So that's what I've done here, and this is gonna, like, we're gonna be closing it on the pattern, and that is our basic block. Can you see that, guys? For the back, and here is for the front. Here is our basic block. Before we now start to alter it, we're going to now start to alter this into what we want now. We're going to do the on the bust tightening, then we'll do the over bust tightening as well, then do every other alteration. Ready, guys?